the end of their world as they know it. Kind of like today, we're in the end days. It's the end of their world as they know it, and they're sleeping. They fall asleep on him. Jesus comes to him and says, he findeth them asleep. Peter, what? Ye could not watch with me 1 hour. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. I mean, we're in the end times here, people, and if you look, the world's going faster and faster. There's not enough time in the day. We go to work, we come home from work, we have supper, we have dishes, we have to mow the grass, we have homework, we have practices, we have etc., etc., etc. Our world is getting faster and faster, and by the time we get these things done, we don't have time for a prayer life. Everybody wants to go to sleep. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock. As we get closer and closer to the end days, the devil's going to try to put more and more of us to sleep. We're not going to have we don't have the prayer time like we do. The world's moving out of control. But, I'm not perfect. There's times where I don't get in a good prayer session. But even though we may fail God, God never fails us. So, I've been to many churches. I'm kind of a mutt before we came here. We were all over the place. You look around today. Look at how many one-service dead churches there are. You show up for 45 minutes, you go home. The churches are watering down the word. They're not telling the truth. They're accepting a sin. They're telling people, as long as you're a good person, you're going to go to heaven. Well, it doesn't work like that. We here have to make sure that we're living for God, that we're having a relationship for Him. We can't just be going through the motion. Who here has ever gone through the motion? I have. You go to work, you come home, or coming home from work, you get in your car, you drive. You get home and you realize, I don't remember anything that just happened. So you get out of your car and you start looking around and making sure you didn't hit anything. And it's detrimental going through the motions, not only physically, but if we're going through the motions, or going through the motions spiritually, what's that doing for us? We have to make sure that we're not going through the motions. When we come to church, we're talking to God. It's not just song service when we're here. It's worship service. When we come up and anoint and get prayed for, that's not just come up and get prayer. That's a time for healings. That's time for blessings. God says, ask and you shall receive. When we come up to the altar for prayer, it's prayer time, but that's time to be building our relationship with God. That's talking directly to God. For most churches, all you can say is that they have a pretty good workout program. You stand up, you sit down, you stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, Of course, maybe they're just trying to prevent the other 78 times sleep is mentioned in the Bible. Get them a little workout, they won't die, and keep them awake on you. So as Christians, we have to be careful that we're watchful. Watch is in the Bible, and watch means to give strict attention, to be cautious and active, to take heed, lest through remission and idlescence some destructive calamity sudden overtake one. Mark 13:33-37 says, take heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, ye know not when the master of the house cometh, even at midnight, or the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So as Christians, we have to be watchful. We have to be living Christian lives. We have to be having a relationship with God. We have to be talking to the lost, the people that are out there. You know, He's given us authority in every man work. There's always people that we can be talking to, praying for. You know, we have to make sure as Christians we're not being dormant. We're not going through the motions. You know, we're out there preaching the Word. We're out there talking to people about the Word. You know, I like, and also as we preach and talk to people, we have to be calm and collected in spirit. That's what sober is. It's not being drunk, but sober means in this verse to be collected in spirit and to be calm. The more we're collected in spirit, the stronger we are. So we're able to take on the devil, and we're able to take on things that come against us. You know, we talk, we pray, we have pray groups. You know, if any issue comes up, we're stronger. We can defeat the devil. Well, this sermon went a little faster than I thought. But, you know, we have to be watchful. We have to talk to others about God. We can't lie dormant. We can't go through the motion. You know, as I'm ending this, you know, I like to think of like Matthew 24. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Sometimes when I'm outside, you know, I'm always praying. You know, something pops in my head, or you hear stories on the news. You know, you pray for the families. You don't know them, but you know, I always pray. You know, my job, that we always are getting calls. You know, medical calls. You know, subjects not breathing, not, you know, unconscious, stuff like that. And, you know, even though I don't always go to those because they're on the other side of town, you know, I always pray for that person. And actually, probably a year ago, we got a call. It was a call that came in for a 10-day-old baby that was not conscious, not breathing, and turning blue. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was just leaving a gas station after getting a cup of coffee. So, but the call comes in, you know, 10-year-old baby, not conscious, not breathing, turning blue. And immediately, you know, I'm thinking, and I think of, in the book of Matthew, Jesus, how he prayed for the girl that was dead, and she rose again. And so I start praying, and I immediately start praying in tongues. And it wasn't probably 30 seconds later, the commander gets on the radio and says, "Are these last comments right?" And the dispatcher said yes. They could hear the baby crying in the background. So I mean, we affect a lot of people that we don't know. And we have to continue to be watchful and praying for people. You know, most people are awakened by the sun. You know, how great is it going to be when we're awakened by the sun? So, Pastor.
What up, good boy? What up? Man, shit, chillin'. Hey, you talk to Black Ant, nigga? He still where he at, in Rockford or in the mill? You talk to Black Ant, nigga? Is he in Rockford or is he in the mill? Nigga, I'm where I live, nigga. I'm in Iowa, nigga. Nigga, you motherfuckers be bullshit. Nigga, you know, I did the stupidest shit that night, right? Dude, I drove all the way there. Stayed for 20 minutes, and drove all the way back. How dumb was that? But yeah, I did that shit. I went there, I came there, I didn't even see nobody. I talked to my mama. I talked to her, and then all I did, I talked to her once and told her, because at first I was going to stay over there. Then I said, nah, I didn't really want to stay over there. Then I called Bug, and I was going to go over her house. I said, fuck that shit. I just got on the highway and came back home. I got back at 5 in the morning, yep. I got back at like 4. It's 4 hours, nigga. I keep telling y'all that. Where y'all get 6 and 5 from? Nigga, it's 4. Yep. Shit. But yeah, hey, you got that nigga number? What is it? I want to see if that nigga got that, if he figured out the, what's the name? I want to see if that nigga, if he got the recipe like he used to have back in the day. The recipe for turning on phones and shit.